Welcome to Q&A Tuesday with Joe.
Hey everyone, it's Q&A Tuesday with Joe, number 29. So today's question is coming from Andy. So Andy messaged me via one of the videos I've made in the past, and he asked me a very good question, and I really wanted to cover it today because I think it's a pretty essential question, and a lot of people kind of wondering every single time they start dropshipping or they're on their path of dropshipping. So he asked me, why do you think some people are successful at eBay and some are not? So this is a good question because while there are a lot of factors that contribute to success, so for example, knowledge or, product selection or different strategies or, this is all great and it's going to make you successful. There's one thing that stands out above all and makes, I think, the difference. And really, this doesn't only apply to eBay. It's kind of obvious, actually. This applies to anything we try to do, in terms of taking up a new job, taking up a new fitness regime, or whatever we try to do and change in our routine or our life. So can you guess what it is? It is kind of Captain Obvious. So of course, we can say a person can be disciplined, for example, or focused, or mentally and physically fit, but what about all these, right? How do we achieve discipline or fitness level or all this stuff? It's actually accountability. So that's it. For example, if you start a fitness journey or start a new job or start an eBay dropshipping business, you have to be held accountable for everything that you are accomplishing or not accomplishing in order to move forward, right? So when I say accomplishing and not accomplishing, you have to be held accountable so you can learn from whatever you have done, not something that may have not worked so well or something have worked well. So you have to learn from it in order to move forward. So how do you measure your success, right? Through accountability. So I'm going to put Gary Vaynerchuk on a hot stove for a little bit because multiple times in his videos and podcasts, he says that he doesn't need a mentor, he doesn't read books, and he never had a mentor. And I call absolute bullshit on this because his father is actually a mentor, and he kind of suggested that in one of his books. I don't remember exactly which one, but his father is his mentor. So he cannot necessarily say that, mentors don't work and you shouldn't get a mentor. I guess I kind of get his point because he says, if you get a mentor, you can expect him to do the work for you. Well, that's not the point of a mentor, right? Like a mentor is supposed to make sure that holds you accountable. So to answer your question, Andy, I think people that succeed in eBay seek accountability from successful dropshippers, right? Because you do want to kind of mold what the successful dropshippers have done. I'm going to continue answering this question by offering a Snapchat of my second store because I think numbers speak everything. You know what they say, pictures worth 1,000 words, right? So I'm going to use my second store as an example of how I reached out to Jonathan to hold me accountable in reviving this store. Accountability is so important. So the story behind the second store is that I opened this store sometime back in August last year, and I knew it was going to take some time before I saw revenue because it had very low limits. Very low limits. I believe I had like 50 listings and $100 or $1,000 to begin. And so it was very, very low. And I knew it was going to take some time, probably 3 months before I would see any type of movement in my store. So I was right. It took a while to get it going. And I thought that the more I listed, the sales will improve. But I didn't necessarily pay close attention to what it was listed, how it was listed. There's different things that you have to address, not necessarily just a profit margin and the types of products you pick and whatnot. There's a lot of things that you have to look and check every day and be held accountable for to make sure that they're addressed so your store is performing as it should. So after 6 months, with a decent limit, my sales were still very low, like very low. I would get maybe So I had about 4,000 or so listings in my store, so pretty decent size store, but I was getting about 1 to 2 sales a day, if I was lucky. So I mean, around the Christmas time and the holiday time and the Black Friday, and so the holiday shopping spree, yeah, I did get, like 3 sales a day or whatever. So I was hopeful, thinking that, my store is probably going to revive now, and it's going to pick up, but it didn't. So after the new year began, it went back to, maybe 1 sale a day, if even. So it was pretty bad. My first store definitely did much better than that when it first started out. So I started to wonder what is truly going on with my store. So I realized that while I work with Jonathan on many projects together, it would probably be a very good idea to seek his accountability and advice on how to turn this around. So I needed to be held accountable. And what I mean by accountable is, okay, we can talk a lot of crap about, okay, let's be held accountable, but accountability means you need to do. You need to take action. It's not just talk. You got to take action. And so I needed to be held accountable to make sure that I take action and fix what needed to be fixed. So we decided to apply his strategy to the store. I believe we started out the second week of March. So at the end of the second week of March. And it took about, a week and a half to 2 weeks for things to pick up because, as I said, it's a domino effect. They're not going to happen right away. If you have to address certain things at your store that will help with the sales, right? So it's not just, picking the right products. It's a lot of things. So those lot of things needed to be addressed, and it took some time for things to start picking up, right? So as you can see, based on the screenshot, my store started to pick up pretty good on the second week of March. And I expect the store to show about 1,000 improvement by the end of the month. So I guess I can say Jonathan's strategy works, right? I mean, the store just literally revived like a new store altogether. So it's really important to get the right people behind you. That's really the point of this. People that truly believe in you to lift you up and push you to succeed. There's no other simple strategy behind that than this. And so with that, I do want to speak about the membership that Jonathan and I are so excited to begin offering now. So our membership service offers a community. Our community is tight and close, and we help each other because we all have the same mindset. We have an abundant mentality mindset. We all want to succeed. I'm not trying to go and I really don't want to say this, but I don't want to scrape anybody else's store, and I don't want to do anything unethical. I want to build my business based on my sweat and tears, okay? And I want to help people do the same thing and succeed, and I want to take them with me. And we're helping each other. So the community is so important and so close and supportive. And guidance is something that you have to really believe in, because sometimes you're so close to your store, it's very hard to see what's really happening. You're so emotionally and subjective towards it. You are not necessarily seeing what needs to be addressed. So guidance is something that this membership definitely offers. It's a reality check, I guess I should call it. And support, accountability. I am going to keep saying these words because these words are key to your success. And what else is the membership offering? Well, an exclusive Facebook group. So the Facebook group is where all our community is residing. This is where all are helping each other. And this is where all we share our information and strategies and, things that we're all going through. We're all real people. We all have real goals. And so it makes it, I guess, more of a community when we're together and we do a check-in, right? We offer exclusive access to resources like, for example, VA recruitment, something that is very important for those that want to scale their business but don't know how to do it. There's lots of courses out there, free and paid, on how to hire a VA, but there seems to be a lack of support on what happens when you actually do hire a VA. You are not necessarily just hiring someone to sit there and list for you like a horse. You're managing a person. And so you need to grow into that management role. So this is something that we definitely are going to work with you once you're ready to scale your business, because we want to see you successful. It's important to us because reputation is something that travels quite fast. So that's about it. It's $99 per month, and you can find more details by visiting our website at edropshipempire.com. And there's a link there. It's a membership link. You can click on it and just follow through. Very self-explanatory. Once you register, you'll get a welcome email with all the details. So, Andy, I hope I was able to answer your question. And as always, everyone, happy selling!